Hello guys, welcome to my channel Techmon.in. This is the fifth part and the final part of the series Introduction to Pyspark. In the previous parts, we have already learned the basics like how to apply filters, how to do group by and aggregations, how to do joins. We learned four types of joins like left, right, inner and full outer join. And we also covered how to do partition buys and apply window function in Pyspark. So ideally do that should be enough for most of the tasks. But this fifth chapter I'm specially dedicating to automation. The reason being we create a lot of codes and they are not even automated nor optimized. So we waste a lot of manual efforts in rerunning, re-executing them, making little bit changes like changing the time, changing the country, and so many changes. And we spend a lot of time just doing the same work we have already done before. So why not automate our stuff and just make reuse of all the codes which we write above. So if we in the first go, yes, it may take a little more time than usual to write automated codes, but next time it will be really less time consuming. And also if you will be sharing your codes with others, not only it will help them understand the pieces much faster. They can QA it much faster. Also, they will appreciate your knowledge for this because definitely you are not only saving your time, you're saving time of others, and also you are making yourself more efficient. So you'll be, if you're working for some organization, they'll also appreciate these small things. So in this part, I'm going to cover how we can uh, write automated code. So I've written some of the KPI, like if I have to, since this COVID-19 situation is there for a while and it's going to be there for a while, I hope not so, but uh, that's a fact. So we might be asked to run this report again and again, right? So, and these are some of the KPIs numbers we will be asked to fetch. So why not automate these numbers? And the only thing which I believe will change in this is the date, right? Because today it is 22 of April, 22nd of April, and we may be asked to run this report like 30th of April, right? So the only changing parameter in most scenario will be just the date. So why not automate it and make our code reusable? So I'll get started. So I'll be doing that using classes. So if you are having or you are already aware what how classes work in Python, well and good. Else I will try to keep it as simple as possible so that even if you are not much aware about that, you'll be able to follow. So just like functions, we define functions with def parameter, which is def. We start classes with class, then we uh, provide a class name COVID-19. Let me put this, then our parenthesis, and that's it. So actually it is, yeah, okay. And next, here comes a constructor. So what constructor is? Constructor is basically whenever we initialize our class, this is the first default function which will be executed. So this is the beginning of every whenever we initialize a class, this will be first executed. This is the beginning of of initializing of a class. So this is the structure of how we define init function. It is called underscore init or double under dunder init. So self is a default parameter which goes in place. We should always, any function we define within a class, its first parameter should be a self parameter. Then after that, we can define as many functions as we want to. So the only parameter which I think in this case, sh- uh, only parameters which I think in this case should be the SQL context or SQL context, and another could be the file name from where we are picking up the file, because these two uh, are most which can change over the time. I might be changing our SQL context, or I might be changing my file name. So these are the two parameter we should always provide. uh, we will be required to provide while I will be creating a function object of COVID-19 class. So what next I'll be doing? Self, I will take this parameter here which was passed in the function and will create another parameter inside the class only. Here this stands for that this parameter SQL context will be created and will be available inside COVID-19 class only. Okay, so this defines the scope of this variable. Then same we'll do for file name, right? That's it. Since we'll be creating different functions for these, all of these KPIs numbers, uh, our file name won't change, and we are not required to read a file which we like. It's a long code, I know, so I won't be going back and forth too often. So this is one. So this is a file which we first read through pandas and then convert it into Spark data frame here. Okay. So since we once we have the data frame, there's nothing else to worry about. We can just try it all the functions, like all the calculations like these on top of that. So I'll be doing input the Spark context, input the file, create the Spark data frame from the file. So shit. Oh, sorry, my bad. I totally forgot to copy this. So this is how we were reading a file, but we won't be providing the file name here. I'm just for safekeeping, I'm keeping it there. I'll be using it later. So first I read. So how I will read the file? File name, file. Okay, I read the file. Now what I'll do, self dot COVID-19 data set equal to, I'll be making use of this context here and create data frame. Okay, I'll be creating data frame from PDF. So now I've created the dataset, read the file using pandas, then converted that into SQL data frame and saved in a class parameter COVID-19 dataset. Okay, so that's how we have initialized our class. So before proceeding further, I'll quickly show you how we will create a function in class. So this will be the variable of the object of this class. Now this class take two parameter. First is SQL context. Second, I generally put space here. Yeah. Second parameter is file name. So my file name is this. Okay. Now I've created a object of this class. Let me print out its type here. It will take some time because we are reading the file here and then converting into data frame. Okay, it's done. Now in the we can access uh, this COVID-19 dataset using this object of the class. So right, let's first print the schema here. See, this was the data we had in this. I can also print few records. Let me truncate equals to false. Okay, as you can see, we now have this data frame available inside this class, and we can access that data frame using the object of this class. So now we won't be required to read this data frame again and again uh, anywhere. It will be available to all the functions inside functions methods inside this class. So first one we are going to write is overall number. Okay, get, I'll start with get overall numbers. As I mentioned, first parameter will be self parameter, always pointing to the class itself. Pass just like skips. If I write anything after that, like some return statement, it won't be processed. Pass just ends the loop or gets out of function then and there. So next is this is overall number. So at overall number we have daily numbers separately. So I could be asking for like what are the cases on 22nd or what are the cases on 30th or so on. So right. So date is one of the changing factor here. So I will take the date as input parameter to this function. Okay. Also, what could be happening? We don't know what is the latest date, right? And hence we want the data associated with the latest date. So what I'll do, I will give it a default value max. If the default the date parameter contains the value max, it will automatically pick or return the records associated with the latest date. Else, if the date is provided, it will filter the data for that particular date and will return that. Okay. So if date equal, let's so write our logic. If date equal to max, if that is the case, then first we will have to get the max date from this data set, right? So I'll write just assign it back to this dot. Now I will be aggregating, and on aggregating what I'll be getting max of max of date, which is one of the column here, right? Now I will this part here will return me a data frame. So let me quickly we have discussed this in detail, but for this part only let me show you very quickly, because otherwise it will become a very long lecture. So this returned here, I will quickly collect over it. So first record, and after that date. Since date won't be there, I'll put an alias there first. Alias max date. I will put it in a new line. So dot collect 0 and then max date. Of collect logic and how we are getting the max date, I've already explained in the first part, so won't be going in depth here. So this will return us a maximum date. So let's also write our comment side by side. Get the max date. Okay, so that is, once we have the max date, we know we have to return the records associated with it. What records? We just want the overall number. But our numbers, which table you can see here, is at county level. They are not aggregated at overall level. Overall, I mean total, over high level view, highest level view, you can say. So if this overall summary, I'll write. So what I'll do, I'll again pick this data set, filter the data set, because I now only need data where my date column is equal to date, right? If the date is provided already, it will pick the data for that, otherwise it will calculate for max date. Once I have that, what I want next, I want to aggregate, and what I want actually after aggregating, I want first sum of what cases, and it will be called total cases. Next, what I want after that, uh, so I want total number of deaths here, right? Deaths. I'll be just pasting it twice. Now we also might be interested in uh, distinct count number of counties. So number of counties, and last, let me copy it, and last one will be distinct number of states. These are the high level of KPIs we might be interested in. So let me verify. Yeah. Okay. Once we have this data, we have already filtered for date here, right? Or another way we could structure it more appropriately is like this. Okay. We already filtered for date. Now we are aggregating our data. Our entire data is stored in this variable, and all we need to do now is return this. Okay. Now with the simple function, I can get records associated with a particular date, or if I don't know the date, I could get the records for maximum date, or I could also do one thing. If it is min, let's say, uh, instead of max date, so when was the first case report, so it will pick date when the first case was reported, and it will return that. So with this function only, I can get the records associated with max date, min date, and also for any particular date provided by the user. So let's check this out quickly. Okay, now how will I get this, call this function? So I'll be using the object of the class COVID-19 class. Okay, I should write object so it is more clear to everybody. So I'll write object of class. I'll have to rerun it because I made changes in the class. So now object to records. Okay, now it is object of the class. Now I can just call this. I can mention date equal to max. I don't need to, so I can just skip this for max. I'll show. So as you can see, it is not returning the date. So later on it might be, little hectic, since we know the data is for a particular date only. We can just write group by and mention date inside it. So similarly, meanwhile it executes, I'll write here date equal to min. Okay, as you can see here, latest data available is of 19th of April here, and when was the first case reported? It was uh, 21st January, and first case was reported then. So with this, also I'll just quickly show you one more thing. I can mention 2020 0401. So what were the cases on the beginning of month, which was 1st of April, and here are the records. Okay, with this only we can get the required numbers at any level, right? So how easy it is. Later on, if I need to get numbers at any level, I can just call this function pass my date, and that's it. Similar to this will be overall daily numbers. So all daily, I'm just showing it for various KPIs because input for each one of them could be different, right? So you get more clarity how to handle various kind of inputs. So I'm doing that. So here we don't require any date parameter because we just need overall daily numbers. Basically at daily level we require these numbers. So I think I can handle that also with this only. If we give max date, then this should be situation. If minimum date, then this should be situation. Or if date is none, something else we can do, right? So yeah, I think we can handle it here only. L, let's not this. If date equal to none, okay, so what we'll be doing, filtered data equal to, we don't need to filter the data, so we'll keep it as it is because there is no date associated, so no value required to be changed. But otherwise, what we want to filter our data, right? So let me copy this, right? So if no date is provided, if it is none, it will just copy the entire data set into filtered data set, filtered data. And if date is provided, it will just filter. So let me, because here it is anyway simple. Okay, now what we can do to get the overall summary, I can just simply use this data set to do my group by operation. Okay, if date will be there filtered, it will consist of, if either max, min, or some particular date is there, the date it will be of only it will have only single date in the data set, and if we group on single date, it will always return only one record. But if there is no filter on date, it will return multiple. So rather than talking about it, let me show you how it will work. So I will create another. I will not print so many of them, so just let me skip this. Yeah, so overall number date is none when no date is provided versus when date is 2020 0401. See, when I provided date, whether uh, min max, oh sorry, my bad, it will not min max or anything, it will return a single record associated with the date. Otherwise it will return records for all the dates. So as you can see, with just one function, we could get so many KPIs, numbers, right? So next come for county level numbers, right? So for county level also, we could do something like that. County numbers, right? Self default parameter, then nothing for now. So for county, what are the what are the scenario could be? As some of here we mentioned, county overall, basically for either all the county, we will be we want to get the high level numbers like cases, deaths, and so on, or number of states in them, or it could be like for a daily level we want the cases, or it could be that we want a number for a particular category, right? So let's build the scenario. Date one will always be there. I think if we want to see what were the cases on a particular date, so date definitely there. By default, let's pick max because we might be interested in latest dates only. Then another could be county. So county will just like be date, can take either none, basically return all data of all the county, right? Or it could contain a name of a particular county, right? So by default, I will mark it as none, basically to return the data of all the counties. So I'll copy this part from here only because I think for date we are sorted. It covers everything. I think I should copy everything. It will be of help, a lot of help. Okay, I'll just put it here. Now this scenario will remain same. If max, pick the max date, pick the min date. If date is none, don't filter the data. If there is some date, min, max, or whatever, just filter the data, right? So these are for date parameters. Similar to that, we will build for county. If county, then we don't need to do anything, right? If county equal to none. If it is none, we want to return all the data. We will write pass. Just skip this. We don't want to do anything. Else if that is not the situation, else basically we want to filter our data. So we'll be using something like this. Hold it. Particular date filter data for a county. Okay, so now what will happen if I pass none? Data will not be filtered, data of all the county there. And if that is not the case, on the filtered data only, because in filtered data we have already put the conditions for date, on the filtered data only, now we will also filter for the county, right? Now I can use the filter data set. We don't need counties count because it will be one for all of those counties, right? I don't need this. Now we will call county summary. So let's now run it. So we checked how the counts for these things will look like. Let me copy this. So we kept the name of the function county numbers, right? Let's pick the default date for now, which is max. Uh, for now, I won't be filtering or anything on county. I can just leave it as it is, or I can just pass none. So, but I'll put a limit on the number of records. Don't want to get so many records here. So let me run it. Oops, it returned only one record. I think, yeah, actually what happened, I left in the group by condition date, which is totally wrong. It should be county because we want numbers at county level, right? So that's why I got a single record there. So now it should work. Meanwhile, we get the numbers for these. See, we got the cases across these county for max date, right? Similar to that, if I want the numbers for particular county, like uh, I think we were working with Adair, right? We saw all the examples related to Adair. So let's pick that one, and on let's say 2020, on particular date, let's say 2020 04 and 01. Okay, so as you can see here, we got records for a particular date. One more thing, we need to do a quick fix. If I pass none, it will just add up records for all the county. For example, let me show you what I mean by that. When I put none, I should get records like this at daily level, right? So let me show you. I should be getting daily level records for area, but that is not we are getting. It is just taking the sum of that, and the reason for that being I did not mention date column here, which should have been part of this. Now, what it will do, we can in the group by condition we can pass multiple um, columns. Now it will group on date and county both of them. If only a single date exists, we will get only one record against a particular county. But if date parameter is none, it will return all the dates against a county, basically in all the dates where the cases were reported. So let's also quickly check and run it. So here I will just get that only because I am passing max date. So against each county only a single record, but here when I passed none for a day, let's see it for a day only, I got the daily records. Okay, so I can also get for like this is also can pass none, and let's see how it works now. It will take time. So we cannot see duplicacies, reason being it is not ordered, it is in random order, so we are not actually seeing the duplicacy at county level. So what I'll do, sort on county, and then I'll also sort on date. So first it will sort the data into count based on county, and then for the record of a particular county, then it will sort them on date. Uh, what? Okay, I forgot the dot update. Okay, so let's see how it shows. So as you can see here, for let me also print more records. Okay, as you can see, for the first case reported in Abbeville was on 19th March, and initially they had only 111 cases. Then they went up. Then here, as you can see, for each county, we have their entire trend when the first case was reported and how they increased in number. So as you can see, all these summaries we got and more. We have not printed all the combination yet, but we can get so many combination of information just from this simple piece of code in which I just need to pass date or county name and I can get the data. I don't need to change anything in this class until unless there is no new requirement, and it is so easy. As you can see here, it is easily readable, right? And it can be QA'd much faster. and it if we have to give transition to anybody, it will be much faster. So similarly, I'm not doing for all of these. So I'll be wrapping this part here only because if I'll just uh, be creating functions for all of these, I'll be just reiterating over the uh, things I've already covered. We have covered how to take care of uh, min max certain values. We have also take care if we don't want to provide any filter, like here we don't want to provide any filter on date, here we don't want to provide any filter on county, and we can still um, return the numbers at whatever level we want to return. uh, Also, one more thing, we can also put this class into a new py code, and just wherever required we can just write if the name of the file as well as COVID-19, we can just write import from COVID-19 import COVID-19, and we will have this file, this class imported, and we can just easily create these charts, right? So I'll always recommend to write modularized code, automated codes, so that we don't have to spend all this time and energy again and again. If for example new requirement comes, like we have to also get category top states, I don't even need to, once this code is keyword, I don't need to go through everything again. I can just add one function here like get category top, not stop, top states. My bad, hyphens won't work. The, yep, okay. Category tops state, not start states. Right, first parameter as I mentioned will be self default. If we need any date level filter here, county level filter here, or any state level filter here, just write our code here. In the end, return the data frame which we are creating. Created data frame. Voila, we are done. We can just call this function using the object of the class, pass the parameters, category top states, pass the parameter required, and so on. We are done, right? So this is as simple as that. So I'll be ending this video here only. Hope you have find this all of these lectures really helpful, and please do let me in comments if you want to learn anything particular about Pyspark, or you are not clear with some of the concept I've covered here. Just let me know. I will also do another video series how to use MLlib, basically machine learning library, which is also available using Pyspark. So it also takes care of distributed programming, and we can just run our codes much faster if we have the environment, suitable environment available. So I'll definitely cover, not in too much detail. I will pick one data set uh, and one for classification problem and one for, you know, a regression kind of problem. And I'll just walk you through few of the, technique, like how we generally use that, because the way if you have already used sklearn packages or any other packages, they are the way they work is kind of different than what PySpark works in, the format PySpark works in, because we have to convert the data format, right? Because it takes vectors and all that. I will create a short video on that also. So please, if you really are learning from my stuff, learning from these videos, please do subscribe on my channel to stay tuned, and also please like all the videos which you found valuable. Please share it with your friends and colleagues. Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye bye.